Dark. Air thick as tar. The sound of my breath echoed inside the box, shallow, ragged, recycled. A plastic tube fed air from somewhere above, a mercy the kind only monsters give. My hands were zip-tied, my legs cramped against wood slick with condensation. Then came the voice. Your family has 48 hours to pay $5 million. A laugh followed, slow, lazy, certain. The kind of laugh that meant they'd done this before. Through the small phone speaker wedged near my head, I heard my daughter's voice break. "Dad, we don't have it." I closed my eyes, listened to her sobs, let them carve through the static until the line went dead. They thought I was a banker, a quiet man with a mortgage and a schedule. They didn't know I was a ghost from a place that doesn't exist on paper. I pressed my chest against the coffin wall, hard, once, twice. The tracker embedded under my left clavicle pulsed awake, sending a silent scream through the dirt. 30 minutes. That's how long it takes a signal to bounce through 3 satellites and reach the right hands. I lay still, counting my heartbeats, letting fear do what it does best, sharpen everything. They say death makes you think of life. I thought of betrayal. It began with the whispers, bank accounts I never opened, investments I never made. I'd noticed them 6 months before. Transfers moving through offshore banks, using codes only a handful of people knew. My wife had grown distant, new perfume, new laughter. I recognized it, the sound of someone who's no longer afraid to lie. When I asked, she brushed me off. "You're paranoid, you always were." 18 years of interrogation taught me how to hear truth in silence. Hers was deafening. Then came the vacation to Mexico, a conference I never booked. A new contact on her phone saved under Ava HR. I traced the number to a Sinaloan shell corporation, a cartel-linked front. I didn't confront her. I wanted to understand, to see what she was building behind my back. Turns out she was building a deal with the devil, and she sold me as collateral. The weeks before the coffin were quiet. Too quiet. She moved around the house like someone waiting for a clock to run out. She started asking about insurance, about what happens if something happens. The words hung in the air, sweet and poisonous. I began recording everything, phone calls, meetings, bank activity. I sent copies to a secure cloud under a dead operative's ID. 2 days before the abduction, she kissed me goodnight for the first time in months. I knew then it was goodbye. The van came at dawn. 3 men, masks, efficiency. No threats, no noise. Professionals. The kind she could never afford alone. As the needle went into my neck, I caught her reflection in the window, watching, motionless. I didn't see hatred. I saw calculation. She wanted me dead, but she wanted it clean. The soil above began to shift. Distant rumble, static in my ear. A voice through the comm implant, signal confirmed, hold position, hold position. It's strange how training overrides panic. My mind went calm, detached. I replayed the last 6 months like film reels, her coldness, her new clothes, the mysterious cash flow. When they pulled me out, I didn't gasp. I stared at the men who thought they'd buried a banker. Their confusion was brief. Then the van doors opened, and they were gone, neutralized, clean, forgotten. Back in the debrief room, I watched the footage from my house cameras. The cartel boss in my kitchen, my wife pouring him coffee, her voice steady as she said, "He'll never be found." No tears, no hesitation, just certainty. I didn't speak. I just let the file play. Revenge doesn't always wear blood. Sometimes it wears paperwork. I transferred every asset she'd hidden under her lover's alias into a trust for my daughter. Every secret account, every shell company. Legal, traceable, irreversible. Then I released the recordings to the DEA. Names, transactions, offshore links. Within 72 hours, the cartel was in flames. She called once. "They're coming for me." I said nothing, just listened to her breathe, the same way she'd listened to mine beneath the dirt. Then I hung up. I live in the mountains now. No records, no trails. Just air that smells like nothing and everything at once. Sometimes I dig my fingers into the earth, feel the weight of it. Reminds me what it's like to be buried alive, and how silence can become a weapon. My daughter sends letters. She thinks I'm dead. It's better that way. I was a CIA interrogator for 18 years. I've seen what fear does to men, what love does to truth. She thought she could bury me. She didn't understand. I was never the one underground.